So look, I just drew this. It's showing how the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci, he is touching with his head Cancer and he's touching with his feet Capricorn, 23.4 degrees north and south, which is the boundaries of the sun in this band. That's why the square touches the bottom of the circle and not the top of the circle, because the ecliptic path of the sun, which is the same exact size as the equator, is inside this square, not lined up directly above the equator, or else the sun would just be going around the equator and we'd never have seasons. The sun would give us spring forever.
Today I'd like to share with you something extraordinary I discovered while creating the Hearth Book, first published in March 2023. By the end of this presentation, you'll see how this revelation reshapes our understanding of humanity and the cosmos, and how it can be applied practically. In fact, I'll show you my latest invention inspired by this very revelation. I call it the Vitruvian revelation, a cosmic cartwheel of the ages. It unites the ancient geometry of Phi, the prophetic vision of Ezekiel in the Bible, and the sacred proportions of Leonardo's Vitruvian Man, revealing that the very design of the human body encodes the architecture of the cosmos. Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man is not simply a drawing of a nude figure within two shapes. Behind this image lies something far more profound. It's a revelation of cosmic proportion. The true genius lies not only in its precise depiction of human anatomy in its proportions, its remarkable detail, or even in its elegant squaring of the circle, but in what it represents. Its brilliance lies in the revelation that the human body itself is the key, the living solution to the eternal mystery of squaring the circle, harmonizing heaven and earth. When the drawing is scaled up properly, a hidden map emerges, a cosmic diagram, a cosmogram, a map of the heavens and earth encoded within the proportions of the human body, a sacred blueprint revealing that the human body itself is the solution to squaring the circle. The human form unites the square, earth, and the circle, heaven, making the diagram geometric, anatomical, and cosmological. The circle represents the heavens, the square represents the earth, the material plane, the terrestrial framework of the world, and the human body stands as the bridge between them. The drawing reveals that the circle surrounding the man corresponds to the Tropic of Capricorn, the southernmost boundary of the sun. The square encloses the Earth's equatorial system, the tropical boundaries, and the navel, his belly button, aligns precisely with the North Pole, the still point beneath Polaris, the cosmic navel connecting heaven and earth, the axis around which all turns. Thus the Vitruvian Man becomes the cosmic body of Earth, his limbs tracing the latitudes and celestial boundaries above. This geometric relationship encodes not only the body of man, but the breadth of the cosmos, a unified pattern that repeats from atom to eon. As Leonardo himself wrote, man is the measure of the universe, the universal ratio. Phi, the golden ratio 1.618, is the divine proportion governing both the microcosm and the macrocosm. This divine ratio threads through every scale of existence. It shapes the spiral of shells, the branching of trees, the orbit of planets, and the proportion of the human form. It's the hidden heartbeat of creation itself. In the vision of the prophet Ezekiel, we find an ancient echo of this cosmic design, Ezekiel 1:15-18. And their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel symbolizes motion within motion, nested systems turning through the same divine center. We can interpret the day, the year, and the great year as three such wheels: the Earth's rotation, the day, the Earth's orbit around the sun, the year, and the wobble of the Earth's axis, the precession of the equinox, the great year. Each of these cycles turns through the same center, harmonized through Phi. The wheel within the wheel is more than a vision, it's a sacred code of correspondence. The human template, Phi in the flesh. The human body is the torus made flesh. It's the living proportion that bridges earth and sky. Its structure encodes the same proportion that shapes the cosmos. For example, if we measure from navel to crown is 1 unit, then from navel to soles equals 1.618 units, the golden ratio. The pentagram, when superimposed over the human form, encodes this same harmonic proportion. Every line and intersection mirrors Phi. If the measure from one fingertip to the shoulder is 1 unit, then from that same shoulder across the chest to the other fingertip equals 1.618 units. Thus the human form is not random, it's a living equation, a resonant instrument through which the universe expresses order. The total measure from head to foot, or fingertip to fingertip, equals Phi squared, 2.618, revealing that the body's architecture mirrors the very structure of the cosmos. Phi and its square act as scaling constants that allow one wheel to fit within another. The very geometry of the toroidal field. The torus is the perfect emblem of living energy, a donut-shaped flow, endlessly folding back into itself, feeding its own center. Nested tori. Every atom, cell, planet, and galaxy is its own torus, a breathing field of self-renewing energy. The micro feeds the macro. The human breath feeds the cosmic breath. The breath harmonic. Why does this matter? Because wheels within wheels describe not only Ezekiel's vision, but the harmonic structure of reality itself. Nested, frictionless motion. It's not just poetry. It's a code of correspondence for nested harmonics. The small wheel turns inside the big wheel without friction. The pattern of a living universe. Energy seeks balance through recurring proportion. And when that proportion is phi, motion becomes self-similar and self-sustaining, each rotation perfectly fitting within the next. Phi governs the coupling of these wheels. For example, when you square phi 1.618 times 1.618, you get phi squared 2.618. The result is 0.026 greater than 2.592, which is the harmonic key to both time and breath. That decimal 2.592 translates cosmically to 25,920, the number of years in one great year and the average number of breaths each human takes per day. Proof of the breath harmonic. The average person breathes once every 3.3333 seconds. 5 threes. There are 86,400 seconds per day. Divide 86,400 by 3.3333 and we get 25,920 breaths per day. Each human performs a miniature precession every day. Each human inhales and exhales in resonance with the turning of the stars. The microcosmic breath of man mirrors the macrocosmic precession of the heavens. The micro breath mirrors the macro breath. In harmonic mathematics and fractal scaling, we may slide the decimal to reveal self-similarity across scales. 2.592, 25.92, 259.2, 2,592, and 25,920 are all harmonics of the same rhythm. By sliding the decimal, you're recognizing that ratio, not raw magnitude, defines harmony. You're creating different magnitudes of the same harmonic. Just as music can play the same melody in a higher or lower octave, the universe plays the same ratios across time, space, and form. Even the luminary cycles echo this proportion. Saturn, the farthest visible planet, spends 2.5 years in each zodiac sign. The Moon, nearest visible planet, spends 2.5 days in each zodiac sign. This is no coincidence. It's a fractal rhythm, the toroidal pulse of creation. What the ancients meant by wheel within a wheel. It's the same harmonic in vastly different scales of time. They differ in scale, not proportion. 2.5 is the base beat of the cosmic metronome, echoed in both the lunar and Saturnian cycles, and even encoded in the human proportion. Cosmic alignment. The geometry of Leonardo's square and circle maps the tropics of the zodiac, uniting earth and sky. When a circle is drawn inside the square, it reveals the ecliptic plane, the sun's path through the zodiacal belt of the heavens. This inner circle is the same size as the equator, but it's tilted 23.4 degrees off-center. That tilt allows it to reach the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, marking the sun's extreme northern and southern paths. Between these two boundaries, the sun, moon, and planets spiral, northward and inward toward Cancer, then southward and outward toward Capricorn. They breathe in and out endlessly above, performing a toroidal spiral within the celestial field. From above, the geometry aligns perfectly. The crown of the head marks the Tropic of Cancer, the sole of the feet marks the Tropic of Capricorn, and the navel aligns with the North Pole beneath Polaris for now. As the heavens roll, the cosmic man turns with them, performing one perfect cartwheel through the ages. The arms and legs form the ecliptic's cross, and the circle and square reconcile spirit and matter. In this cosmic posture, the man becomes the living bridge between heaven and earth, the celestial dome, and the true mechanics of precession. To set the stage, we use the azimuthal equidistant AE map as the face of the earth, the same projection the United Nations uses for its emblem, our own government's reference map, and we pair it with the Dendera zodiac stone of Egypt, which preserves this same geometry, the ancient wheel carved into the ceiling at Hathor's temple. The Egyptians who built the pyramids designed that ancient wheel to depict both hemispheres of the heavens as a single dome embedded with 48 constellations, including all 12 zodiacs and their deacons, revolving around a center. This isn't New Age conspiracy, this is what the ancients understood, and what our modern institutions quietly acknowledge. In the ancient sky model, a celestial dome arches over the world, rotating counterclockwise at approximately 15 degrees per hour around the celestial pole. The stars seem to move faster than the sun, completing their circuit in about 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.2 seconds, one full sidereal day, the true rotation rate of the heavens, while the sun takes exactly 24 hours. lagging behind the stars by about 4 minutes daily. But this difference isn't because one is truly faster or slower. It's all a result of the slow wobble of the dome, which causes the pole star to shift and the zodiac belt to shift for a new zodiac to rise at the equinox point. This 4-minute lag time is key. Even the Great Pyramid's base encodes this truth. Its slope and foundation align precisely with that 4-minute sidereal slippage, the subtle heartbeat of cosmic time. That small daily delay accumulates across millennia. It is this infinitesimal tension between stellar and solar time that slowly causes the backdrop of the stars to slide ahead of the sun's yearly path, causing the sun's backward and eastward drift through the zodiacs, ushering in each new age as the dawn sun rises before a new zodiac sign at the 0 point of Aries, the precession of the equinoxes. It's not the earth wobbling like a top. Rather, it's the dome of the heavens itself that gently oscillates. The axis of this celestial field slowly drifts, tracing a great circle in the sky. As the dome turns, new pole stars rise to prominence, each age crowned by a new luminary shining above a new point of the cosmic body of the Vitruvian man.
His head shifts south, his feet shift north.
In the age of Taurus, Thuban was the pole star, marking the crown of the cosmic man. But today, Polaris stands above his navel, our present alignment. And in the coming age of Aquarius, another star will rise, to preside over its age. Like a great bowl of spinning water, the celestial medium, the ancient ether, sways and circulates above us, spinning and sloshing, like the whirlpool of the rain oculus at Marina Bay Sands. Its slow precessional drift, 1 degree per 72 years, creates the great year, a 25,920-year cycle through all 12 ages. The rhythm of the heavens. Forward for the stars means rising in the east and setting in the west, the natural direct motion of the celestial dome. Forward for the sun, moon, and planets, however, is prograde, west to east, against the backdrop of the stars, rising in the east and setting in the west. The sun, moon, and planets move prograde, or west to east, the reverse. Thus, if the stars move forward or direct, then the sun moves retrograde in relation to them. This means the ages themselves move forward through the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces to Aquarius, etc., and what we name throughout the year is actually each new zodiac that overlaps the sun as it's drifting backwards through them. The great year is the grand cycle of the rise and fall of civilizations, and the remembering and forgetting of cosmic truth, the cosmic inhale and exhale of consciousness. If most people now believe the ages move backward, then we are still in the cycle of forgetting. The square and the circle, matter and spirit. In sacred geometry, the square represents matter and earth, and the circle represents spirit and heaven. Their union is the sacred mystery of form and formlessness. If the square side equals 1, the circle that harmonizes it must have a diameter of the square root of phi, which is 1.2722. This proportion reconciles the finite and the infinite. It's the measure through which matter and spirit embrace. This ratio appears again in the Great Pyramid of Giza, whose height, the square root of phi, 1.2722, and half base, 1 unit, encodes phi's slope, 1.618, the golden angle of divine proportion. Divide the pyramid's base, 4, by its height, the square root of phi, 1.2722, and the result is 3.144, the true living pi, where earth square and heaven circle meet through the golden mean. Here 4 represents the grounded square of material existence, and pi represents the eternal circle of spirit. Together they express the eternal dialogue between physics and metaphysics, between bounded and the boundless, the living breath of the cosmos. The zodiacal belt, 12 equal 30-degree constellations, circle above and below the celestial equator. The ecliptic, or the sun's path, tilts so that it touches the tropics at its northern and southern extremes and runs through this belt, in which the sun, moon, and planets all spiral seasonally between 2 boundary lines. Tropic of Cancer, 23.4 degrees north, at the summer solstice, June 21st, when days are longest and the sun spirals inwards, and Tropic of Capricorn, 23.4 degrees south, at the winter solstice, December 21st, when days are shortest and the sun spirals outward. This rhythmic in and out motion from the equator is the breath of the living cosmos, inhaling and exhaling eternally. The equinoxes mark the perfect balance points, March 21st and September 21st. On this day, the sun's circular path moves directly over the world's midpoint at the 00 latitude-longitude coordinates, the world's heart. From this midpoint, light touches both hemispheres equally, bringing equal day and night across the world, the cosmic reset, the moment heaven and earth align perfectly. After the March equinox, the sun begins to move north toward the Tropic of Cancer, bringing the season of growth and light to the north. 6 months later, at the September equinox, it returns to the same balanced line again before heading south towards the Tropic of Capricorn. The toroidal field, the correction. The universe doesn't need an external programmer, coder, or intelligence to orchestrate its perfection. It only needs motion to sustain itself, the self-organizing flow of the living medium known as ether. The golden ratio is not a code written by a being, typed on a keyboard. It's the mathematical fingerprint of balance and motion. It's the only ratio that permits such self-similar frictionless motion. That motion naturally takes the form of a torus, the only geometry capable of recycling energy infinitely without loss. When energy flows through a torus, it must spiral in perfect proportion to avoid collision with itself. Its inflow and outflow naturally align with phi, the only angle that allows perfect recycling without interference or collapse. The torus is not an object, it's a process, a breathing field. It is the structure through which energy perceives itself. Every electron, planet, and galaxy breathes through this pattern. Inward gravitation, 0-point stillness, outward radiation. It's a perpetual fountain and drain, the inhalation and exhalation of existence. It's the rhythm of self-sustaining life, the heartbeat of motion itself. That's why the electron isn't a point, it's a breathing cloud. And phi governs that breath. It's not random, it's rhythmic. Thus phi is not digital, it's organic intelligence, not artificial design. It's the mathematical language of harmony in motion, the pattern that emerges when motion self-tunes to harmony. This is why the same ratio shapes seashells, bodies, storms, and galaxies. It's the principle through which motion stays alive and how energy self-tunes into harmony. It's why flowers spiral and bloom, galaxies turn, and DNA twists. Phi, the harmonic of motion. The golden ratio is the natural byproduct of this toroidal flow. It's the geometry of self-balancing motion as energy spirals inward and outward through the torus. Every torus contains the pattern of the whole, but reality is not a simulation. There is no external projector. The torus is the projector, the projection, and the screen all at once. Energy in motion perceiving itself. That is consciousness, and phi is how that motion stays eternally in tune. When energy flows through a torus, its spirals naturally follow phi, because that ratio allows perfect proportional recycling, eternal return without friction or collapse. Reality is holographic because every torus contains the pattern of the whole, but it's not simulated. The universe is neither random nor mechanical, it's rhythmic, it breathes in perfect order, a spiral hymn of awareness. Every atom, every breath, every great year is part of one infinite golden exhalation of becoming, the great cartwheel of the ages. Today Polaris marks our crown, but in other ages Vega, Thuban, or Deneb have taken that role. Each time the dome turns, the umbilical axis connecting heaven and earth moves to a new location on the Vitruvian man, the cosmic body cartwheeling through the epochs. The entire dome rolls like a great wheel, and the human form within it turns along with it. One perfect cartwheel per great year. The revelation, the living mean. The Vitruvian revelation unveils a grand symmetry. The geometry of the human body, the earth, and the sky are all one living, breathing organism. They turn together as one body, one breath, one toroidal field, one eternal wheel within a wheel, one eternal cartwheel rolling through time. The same proportion that defines our breath and our body defines the cycle of the stars. Thus man truly is the measure of the universe, the living mean between heaven and earth, spirit and matter. His body, like the torus, recycles energy through breath, heartbeat, and thought. He is not separate from the cosmos. He is the cosmos, folded into a conscious loop of awareness. He performs a cosmic cartwheel as a harmonic engine of proportion. His body is the cosmic bridge, the toroidal field made flesh.
When I was born at blank, the sun was in blank, the moon was in blank, and blank was rising. Voila. You have your zodiac wheel accurately logged, and this is what astrology really is. Astrologging, logging the astros. If you're 23.4 degrees north at 12 o'clock during summer, June 21st, Taurus will be above your head. If you're 23.4 degrees south during winter, December 21st, Scorpio will be directly above your head. No matter where you are on Earth, as long as you're at the 23.4 degrees south latitude. When I was born, my sun was in Capricorn, my moon was in Libra, and my Libra was rising, which is at the ascendant.
10 luminaries. Here they are. Starting with Moon, then Mercury, then Venus, then Sun, then Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn, then Uranus, then Neptune, then Pluto.
One of my best creations ever. It's a 3D AstroChart, and it's a paper representation of my 3D flat Earth model that I have. You have the switching pole stars, the zodiacs along the ecliptic, which is the path of the sun, which runs from Aries to Cancer to Libra to Capricorn, these three tropics, even though the sun is only following one path, which is the ecliptic, this is the flat earth, and the zodiacs are coming towards you or away from you. That's your ascendant and descendant.